Okay, back to action. It's been a long while since I recorded the other chapter. I'm just procrastinating. I just want to play more of my own base instead of recording this. But let's do this. It's already almost June of 2017, so it's been a long while since I recorded the previous chapter. But let's go. Here I am already smelting some resources, so I don't have to go back to my original base. I also will need some wood to be processed as I clean more of that forest over there, and starting to make concrete as well, which is going to be a very important thing on all my base, basically. And well, actually I did come back to get some resources, just clearing that small forest over there. And now starting to see how I can bring water to make the concrete. Because I will need concrete to bake the base, and it will also help to walk faster. So, and I will need to walk a lot on this game. So it will be important to start making concrete right away. Also to process all that stone that comes with the ore sorting. Now I'm looking where can I bring the water down to where I was right there. And Bob's had this thing with the water pump, but I don't know where to use it. I was just trying to see if I could use it somewhere, but I couldn't find a use, so it is the classic original vanilla water pump. Now using the blueprints to make the pipes across the forest. Very, very handy. And let me just adjust my monitor here. The brightness is way too dark to see. And lovely, my dog now is going out. He didn't bark the whole morning, or since I am awake, the 6 hours that I'm awake, and now just that I start to record this, after procrastinating for 6 months, he starts to bark like crazy. Just perfect. I am sorry, I won't start this again. I already recorded all this chapter 2 voiceover once, or try it to, just to find out that I didn't actually was recording. So I just want to get over with this. It's time to move on. The same with the base for the base. If you are following the forums, I got up to a point that I said, screw the rules, I'm just going to build screw some of the rules at least. I'm just going to build all the entities, automatize and move on. At least I'm putting some red belts somewhere, at some places. But I'm still making one entity per column. I'm just not making some entities back to the Megabase, just to move further a little bit. Oh crap. For fuck's sake. Sorry about this dog. Yeah, that's probably one reason that I didn't record a voiceover for a long time over my own life, because this dog is just crazy. My girlfriend had a friend from Iraq, and he called this dog a terrorist. that's not little. Anyway, now we have automated the concrete production and starting, well, concrete production can only be made automated because it requires water. And now I was looking at those beautiful Angel War store silos and see which one fits better with this danger zone production. And each tile of danger zone requires 10 tiles of concrete, so it will eat a lot of bricks and concrete and stone to make them. And there I decided to leave all those 6, 7 ore silos somewhere, so I don't have to build them every time. I have to see which one looks better for the occasion. Now I'm starting to store some iron ore because I know I will need it. We'll need plenty of iron ore later, so I just am mining them slowly now. And I don't know what I'm thinking right there. How much do I need for a solar panel? Maybe considering to start making solar panel right away. And just looking how much I'm gonna need later on to make more solar panels. But at least I already have some ore sorting and making some iron ore. And now expanding the mining output already. And using my car. Now I see that I will need to change this. If I want to drive with car around, I will need to expand this highway or expand the edges of this middle corridor. And so it begins, the odyssey of making a big highway. Well, maybe not yet. Just checking around everything. I love to set things rolling and just see how it works. So I'm storing some of the ores just so we can produce a little bit more right now and see how it would work if those filters for the stone pieces will be enough. Yeah, that's about it. Then I was needing some stone, some circuits, and for that I was needing some wood and to be built some wood planks, and then I needed some assembly machines. So I took some assembly machines from the stone processing just so I could make more circuits, and thus more assembly machines. And then more mining plants as well, expanding everything. Now back here to get some bricks and some belts, and also what else? I don't know. Yeah, I have 2,400 transport belts. Yeah, I picked up some belts. I don't know if I was producing this big electric pole right now. If I was, I certainly picked up some more. And now I'm redeploying them a little further down the road so I can leave some space. And I'm using this as a reference for the standard wide of the road. I'm sorry if I don't know the exact term, but I'm using the reach of the big pole to set the wideness of the highway. That's it. And then I'm using the transport belt just to count how many I'm using. And now I'm rebuilding this on the side. Lovely dog, very friendly. He loves to see strange people. Anyway, now I'm testing different templates for the ground of the highway. And I'm trying to find, yes, this one, the key to expand the area I can deploy. And I probably have had come up right now with some templates that will look much better than the one I actually ended up using. I don't know. This thing is a monster of its own kind. I always want to keep improving and changing and fiddling around. I'm sorry for that. I'm I'm so sorry, but let's move on. Let's keep recording this. Now I ran out of bricks, even though I had a lot. Just check out how long it takes to run away the whole secret. Anyway, the factory is starting to take a little bit of shape. At least something that I had in my mind is starting to pass over to the real base. But it will be a long time until the whole thing takes shape. Maybe 10 days of gameplay. I don't know. Still, now I have the edges of the highway and I can clear the trees properly. And that's what I'm doing. It's starting to look much better. Okay, that bit is being cleared. Now moving along. And I probably will clear a little bit more later on. It's just what we do in Factorio. Like here. Because I won't be happy. Oh, that's a big chunk of trees. I won't be happy with the clouds. The clouds will still cover the highway. Will make everything dark. And I won't like that. Still will feel suffocated with those trees. As I feel suffocated on this recording studio with that dog barking over there, I really want my own space. Anyway, that might be why I'm building such a huge Megabase. At least here in Factorio I can build my own room, my own place. Yeah. Maybe. Anyway. Expanding a little bit more. Just decided to clear everything, including the transport belt, and just rebuild the belts. Much less work. A little longer, but much less work. I'm looking now. I'm still working on my base for the base. I'm sorry if I'm giving some spoilers ahead. Maybe I should start working at least a little bit on the Megabase already. Especially clear all the trees of the areas that I wanna clear. Who knows? Right now I just did the 0.15 update, the Petrochem update at the same time, as well as removing the hacked splitter, because that was taking a lot of CPU. So I don't know. At least I need to. When I did the 0.15 update, I lost all the angel ores in the areas that I had explored already, so I'm having to start using trains already, which is a great thing because the ores were just way too much in the way, as you will see during these first 5 days of gameplay. So I'm looking to make better aesthetics, and I found out that it will look much better and meaningful if I have some bricks patch over the big electric poles. Or maybe I will be, I don't know. This was recorded 6 months or more, actually 8 months ago, or even more. If it was in August, I'm not sure if it was in August or September, but it's like 10 to 9 months ago, something like that. So I'm not sure what I had in mind here. I am sorry. I'm kind of like watching everything again. Well, at least now I have concrete. I'm finally putting concrete on the middle, and that is what I was intending to do from the get-go. And yes, I told you that I was going to make the tree clearing area much more wider, and yeah, there it is. Also, you can see that I'm gonna make a danger zone on the end of the highway to clear the highway from the base. And still I wanted to make around 10 squares to clear the highway from the base. Yes, after the end of these brick edges, I wanted to keep 10, no, not 10, like 20, 25 squares of nothing. Just because in real factories and refineries, people just leave a lot of empty space in case something goes wrong, explosion of everything. It doesn't affect the other portions of the factory. And, well, everything just looks clean and tidy. You just need a lot of space. And, well, Factorio, you just... Oh, and this highway layout, I like it so much. It's a shame that I didn't kept it later on. Maybe for the Megabase itself, who knows? All I know is a very, very, very fine looking layout. And once again, having to redeploy all those big electric poles. In the end, all those trees will be gone. But I can't wait for it right now with only 50 regular bots. It looks fast on the 12xTime-lapse, but it takes way too long on real time. It's kind of great to, if you're making a long session, at least you get to chill out while you wait for the robots to clean. And so you don't have to make a real break, to take a real break from the game itself. You can just play for longer. And that helped a lot for me to make this starting our non-stop section. And screensaver just popped up. The screen turned dark. Not screensaver, actually, just the screen shut down. But we are back. Anyway, look at all the junk. So many wood. So much wood. Later on, at least, I don't know for how long, but I will have wood for the circuits for a very, very, very long time. Actually, one of the bottlenecks that I have right now is that I don't end producing any resin at the moment, because I was taking the resin from the petrol and I made the petrochem. But I think resin can be made from water, it's from wood itself. So I think this is a big workaround until I figure out how to make resin from the Angel's petrochem again. Now rebuilding the electric poles that I was using to transfer everything, and this transport belt was in the way of the highway, so I'm redeploying it. Yes, right there. Now what? I I I was just waiting for the stone to come up and maybe taking a break, like going to the bathroom, making coffee, something like that. I just didn't want to stop running the game. I was just that hooked into it. Sorry for the long pause with nothing happening, but the purpose of this recording is to record every single bit of gameplay, because I'm missing that on other places where people build some mega bases. You either have a very small base or not so big, or some spaces cut in between, or just people playing real time, and that takes, I just can't watch that. Like the negative route approach to build a mega base, I always wanted to watch it, but I couldn't watch more than 30% of the episodes. So that's why I'm also making this 12x time lapse. No, as well, I can still play the game on my own, chilling out, without worrying about making a, I don't know, just talking about the game or being there to talk about it, and also gameplay copyrights. Sorry for the dog. Last 10 days, I almost never had problem with it. The one or two times that I had problem with it was only once or twice on the day. Now, the only time that I'm recording this, the most important project of my life, kinda. Whatever. And there, that coal patch looks like a happy dog head. I just made those DI. And just a moment, I'm gonna put him away from the door there. I'll be back in a while. Okay. I think now we won't have more problems. I hope. Anyway, I was trying to make some edges, just looking how many 10, 15 squares were. I don't know. I was trying to make some very organized spaces to leave for each furnaces and in between the highway. And oh yes, starting to make some steel production. It's something that we need a lot in Factorio. So why not start making steel already and storing it up on that big silo over there. Like so. Well, if the dog barks now, I will try to silence it right away. He is now sitting on my lap and I'm trying to keep him quiet. But if he barks, it will be very loud. Sorry for that. Anyway, more iron ore being deployed. Now that I had stored up there, I'm just using it again. And what now? Yes, another patch of iron. This time for the actual Megabase, I think. Is a furnace just for it. The first one. Probably when I'm done with the base for the base, I will rebuild everything from scratch, at least this section, because it is just not organized enough. Who knows? I'm yet to know how much space I will need and how much space for expansion I should leave and how many sections of different smelting, ore sorting, and every other stuff I will need. Yeah, that's why I made one big area before the bus that it's actually empty for now, because I don't know what I'm going to build over there. Probably the refinery and any other thing that ain't made on a assembly machine. Who knows? At least the ones that don't require assembly to go through assembly machine and come back to the refinery. But I think everything just need furnaces or chemical furnaces or metal mixing furnaces, electrolyzers, chemical plants, and any other stuff doesn't need to go through an assembly machine for the recipes. So maybe that's perfect. I will only need to have some clear space in between. Yeah, some clear space for all the belts. Anyway, now I'm starting to make the big highway of the Megabase. I'm working around with the templates. The first section will be for metal wheels, metal clogs. I don't know the name now, but that very basic intermediate product. And now I'm looking how I'm going to make this. I will need some space for the trains and for the highway that I will drive around with the car and just walk as well. Maybe I will leave some space to walk, to simply walk around, as well as driving with the car. Yeah, probably another layout for this template that I will make on the actual game right now. Anyway, just putting some concrete because it will look more like this, so I can make everything accordingly. And testing some hazard zone layouts. And well, in the future I will finally find a mod that have colored concrete as well as other ground tiles, but I still have to automate everything beside the colored concrete. Or even that I have to automate. I'm just crafting manually right now. It's just that I don't want to. It needs so many columns if I want to make one entity per column. Maybe all those colored concretes will be made in a single column. One of the rules I'm going to break probably because it's just too many. The same for some colored lights and other colored things. Okay, now I'm seeing which is better to keep the highway in the middle or the trains in the middle. I'm looking at all the possibilities and everything, all the consequences. It's a very big decision because it will be the standard for the whole factory. Yeah, the factory will be massive. At least I hope it will be again. And that is the main bus or something like that. The first 50 by 50 squares is actually occupied by those mean ors, so I'm leaving a small free space in between each square of 10 by 10, I think. And now I'm making a second square, or the place that will be the second square. I didn't make the first one, so this is actually the first one, but using the second square slot. I just made those belts so I can count to 50 exactly. Now I made the layout with the hazard zone on concrete, and now I'm picking more resources, probably more concrete, more hazard zones, leaving out any other junk that I don't need so I can free up some space and just keep the inventory more organized. Actually, I'm picking up the cars so I can come back and get more bricks and leave all that wood in place. Also picked up some copper. Anyway, let's make things properly. And there it is, a full square of concrete, whatever. And now fiddling around with the templates for this square. I'm sorry if this is boring, I'm trying to make the best gameplay possible, but sometimes just not so easy. I also need a better microphone, who knows, and practice more on my English skills. Since I can't build any blueprints yet, I having to store any schematics on the ground, so I'm making a blueprint on the ground, off the ground, and off the highway portion or the corridor. Yes, because it's highway for cars and a train railroad. Yes, I'm also making the highway at least on the crossing. And now putting this first assembly machines on the 50 by 50 squares. A very, very big achievement after all the planning, months of planning, of imagination, and restarting the game 3 times, each one playing at least 5 hours. Finally putting this. The first time I tried, I think I had a problem finding some water. Then I tried Yoyoki and I had a problem of finding all the ores from Yoyoki wasn't being overhauled by the resource spawner overhaul. So I had ores all over the map. Literally had more places with Yoyoki ores than the original. Then I found out the Angel ores, started the game. Then I had the problem of finding a lot of water. And in between I started another game that I by mistake set up a non-passive game and set up all the biters bases to as rich as possible. Everything maxed out on biters. Maybe the game was passive, but I had that problem. Well, at first I didn't want to have any biters, but I was afraid that later on I would have a problem to craft some of the science techs because I had that already in another game. Even though there is a mod to overcome that, I was a little confused how I did that or if the mod was really working, because I think in one of my games I had stumbled upon a big wall because of this. And I wasn't sure if it wasn't some problem with the compatibility of the mod, of the tech mod with the other mods that I was running around on the mod pack. But on this game I decided to start with no biters and just trust that the mod will work. Otherwise I will find a workaround later on, either with console commands or just asking for help on the forums. Anyway, still working on the base. Unfortunately, the next 6 hours of gameplay had some problem with the video. It stopped working after just a short while, and I only found out 6 hours later that I wasn't recording. But I will try to recover that part using the replay function, but I'm almost sure that the replay function won't work, either because I didn't set on the game, because it was going to be a huge Megabase and I was recording everything anyway, or should be, or because I actually, or here you can see that 5 assembly machines, I was just making a template of what the next five squares were going to be. Then I started clearing all the trees, and boy, this takes a long time. At first, I am all pumped up, but after a while, all those only 50 robots starting to take a toll on my real life time. And also all the recording time, the CPU time to reprocess everything. I don't know. But looking at it now, 6 months later, on the 12x time lapse, it looks okay. It looks fine. But I didn't, just to let you know, it didn't look okay at the time. For me, it was way slow. At start not. It was great to watch them working, and even better on the time lapse at a time. But when I see that I'm going to need to make so many squares and such a wide bus, clear so many trees, put concrete everywhere, that's when the motivation changes a little bit. But still, right now I'm pumped up, making the second square of the factory, which will be for transport belts. And that's a very important step. Anyway, nowadays I realize that I should have kept working on the Megabase itself, at least a little bit more, because I'm not playing it anymore. I'm just playing the base for the base. Because the biggest problem with the robo parts, the tier 1 robo parts, they don't cross a huge area. You have to put robots everywhere, and then my Megabase will be just a place for robo parts. And I'm planning to use robo parts just for my own logistics and for construction. And anyway, in real life, a robot wouldn't need to recharge every 100 squares. That's nonsense. But if I will need charging pads, it will be in a different manner. And I'm looking for tire for robo parts, tire for everything, and tire for charging pads. At first, it was going to be only tire 2 robots, but when I use tire for robo parts, he orders the robots to go very far away, and they run out of energy. And the base is starting to get very spread, so I could use the extra speed boost. And I'm not planning to research the text that gives speed boosts, because that's a no-no on this factory here. Mostly because of that. And well, Tire 4 robots are huge already, are very fast already, and it's a lot of fun to make all the chain to make them. Also, building it on the base for the base, I can already play along with all the steps, all the chains that I need to make Tire 4 things, and thus experience at least once everything. So when I build that chain for the base, for the real factory, for this huge base, I can build it better. Anyway, End of the chapter. See you around. Thanks for watching. Please rate and subscribe.